What's up, YouTube? I'm Taco and I record Wi-Fi battles. So here I got a battle against 1104lebron as part of a tryout for being a gym leader on the Sharpedo Stank website. I'll link that as well as LeBron's site. So I have to use a monotype team, and I chose flying because I'm pretty interested in trying that out. And I get two wild cards, and Swamper's one of them, which I lead off with. He goes for a fake out, which does absolutely nothing with the leftovers. And I was going to go for a stealth rock, but at this point I don't know how many attacks I can take from him, so I just go for an Earthquake to bring it down to his sash, and now I have more options to either Stealth Rock, which I want to do, or I can Earthquake again, or finish him off with an Ice Beam. So it goes for a close combat, and it does very little to me because of my physical bulk, and I just go for rocks here because I want to be able to get as many entry hazards as possible to start shuffling. So he notices my physical bulk, goes for a stab, Fire Blast. I should be able to take this, it's not very effective. But he gets the crit, and thank God he did not get the burn, so I'm allowed to finish this thing, and he can't use it for death fodder later. So that was, he wins some, we lose some with the crits, but Carter's basically useless now. I was hoping maybe I could get off some roars or whatever. So he goes into a Kingdra, and I maybe wanted to Dragon Dance or sub or whatever, but he just goes for the waterfall. I was going to use roar. Carter was useless anyways because of the crit earlier, so yeah, he's done his job so far. So I go into my Skarmory, who's obviously going to try to lay up some spikes. He goes for a sub, and I'm not mad. I don't really care because the less he does to me, the more I can be happy when I just whirlwind him away in a few turns. So he goes for a Dragon Dance now, and now that he had the sub up first turn, I didn't want to risk him getting a Dragon Dance and then a crit, because if this thing has a sub and a Dragon Dance up against the rest of my team, it could be dangerous. So I whirlwind. He goes into Alligator, and I know it's going to be a physical attacker, and Skarmory's huge physical wall, even though I put most of the EVs into special defense trying it out, and he just goes for a waterfall as I'm going to lay up another layer of spikes, and this waterfall is so little to me, and he's just basically letting me have my way with the entry hazards out here, and he goes for a second waterfall. He's not setting up at all, which is strange for LeBron, because I feel like he wants to, and I get my third layer of spikes up, and at this point, with another waterfall, I can still roost and almost be at full health. But he goes for Dragon Dance anyway, so now I can roost and go for full health Skarmory with no status ailments at this point in the game with all three layers of spikes up. Like, that's what any person with a Skarmory really wants. So now I can start using my other attacks and not have to worry about getting more entry hazards. So he goes for a +1 waterfall, stab, and all that stuff, and it doesn't even do half to me, not even close with what's going to be leftovers. I just whirlwind, and it brings him into a Rotom, who's a lawnmower, which is, I think it's lawnmower, it's pretty cool. I guess he's in the spirit of spring if you're on the northern hemisphere. So this Rotom, I have never battled a Rotom before with like an appliance, so I figure he might want a Will-O-Wisp, maybe send out a Flamethrower, because that's what it might want to do, and it goes for a Thunderbolt, and this Salamence should be able to take it fine. But guess what? The second great crit, so I'm pretty crippled. Like, that Salamence was going to be one of my stronger points here. So I go into Lenny, use my Haunch Crow, and I figure he's going to go do another Thunderbolt, so I just go for a Sucker Punch, and Lenny is just, like, beasting it out there. Like, I've never used a Haunch Crow before, but yeah, I'm just liking what I see with the Sucker Punch one-hit KO. So he goes into Kingdra and just watch its health go down from the spikes and Stealth Rock. At this point, he goes for a Dragon Dance, and I just want to go for a Brave Bird just in case. Like, I felt like he could have taken me out with a Waterfall, but I get a crit, which doesn't matter. You can decide, but I think with Life Orb, Stab, like the Brave Bird attack, and like all in that attack, it should have been able to take it out. So he goes into a Jirachi. I just want to see what he does. Haunch Crow's already taking out two guys by himself. He goes for an Ice Punch, and I don't see any Life Orb. I don't see any leftovers. So I figure it's choice, so I go into my Heatran and to resist the ice. And I know he's going to expect me to use a Fire Blast, so I just go for, because it's 4 times super effective, so I just go for an Earth Power, and he switches out, which I totally expected. I knew he had this thing, so the Earth Power does a lot to him. So I'm feeling pretty good about out-predicting there, if you want to say that. And now I just go for a Hidden Power. I'm not sure if I should have revealed what type it is. Super effective, and that means basically it is electric. And but at this point, he only has 2 guys left, so I'm not sure if that really matters. So now he's free to bring his Dragonite. He knows that it's not a Ice Hidden Power, but I'm going to just explode now because I don't like Dragonites, and I know all he has left is that Jirachi, who I believe if I can trick it into, not actually trick, but like make him go into a super effective move against my Skarmory, then my unrevealed 6 poke can resist it and then just take it out. So I go into my Skarm, and he just goes for a Fire Punch, and at this point I just want to get, look how low his health is, I just want to get damage on it, get it slowly taken away, so one move from my last poke will take it out. So bring him into the red, and I didn't want to like roost up, because you never know, he might get a burn, I have to do half damage, and then you never know, maybe another crit. So now I'm down, and I'm free to bring in my last, who is a Gyarados named Antares, which is a big star, if you're wondering, in the universe. So he goes for an Iron Head, so I'm like, what? He's not choiced? And I'm just watching, like, wow, oh my god, a critical hit and a flinch. So this second Iron Head is going to flinch again. No, it's not. So I'm able to get up the waterfall and finish him off. So even with the Hacks gods on his side, I was able to win. So definitely check out LeBron as well as the site. I'll post them both in the description. A great battle.